William Murphy's sermons annoy me like no other.
If I was on the corner, I would use the other name for the donkey. Y'all know the other name for the donkey, don't you? Look at somebody and say, untie your donkey. Y'all, look at him and tell him, you know what I really want to say. Because some of you had your donkey tied to people who were not tied to God.
But let's talk about it here at All Things Theology. Cue my theme music.
All things theology, all things theology. We chop it up properly without an apology. Gotta get that theology to God, hallowed be, because this is how we do it at All Things Theology.
Yo, grace and peace. Welcome back to an episode of All Things Theology, where this is your host, K-Dub, and today we got to talk about William Murphy. We're going to be looking at his Palm Sunday sermon. We looked at his Easter sermon already, and that was a disaster already. But we're going to go back and look at his Palm Sunday sermon. I wanted to look at that, but his Easter sermon came out, and again, disastrous, terrible, should never be preached ever again. Throw that in the trash. Exit the stage, pulpit. Don't ever come back in it, right? But let's check this out together. We're going to hear it.
I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm not supposed to start off prophesying this early in the message, but God told me to say to everybody under the sound of my voice who's been under constant attack, that whatever happened to you, no matter how it left you feeling, that everybody that is still connected to you is about to come into the greatest season of their life. We should take for real about 25 seconds and give God praise that 2025 is going to be the best year of my life so far. Write it down, Ramsey. 2025 is going to be the best. I don't hear y'all saying nothing. 2025 is going to be the best year of my life.
Prophesy. You know, the unfortunate part is they say that every year, right? And they definitely said that last year, 2024. Matter of fact, his 2024 prophecy going into 2024, that is, was that everybody would have new houses. Matter of fact, at least 3 houses, he stated, right? And so why would anybody listen to a prophecy of William Murphy is beyond me. It's like listening to a used car salesman. I mean, hey, if you're a used car salesman, I'm sorry, but you got a bad reputation, right? But he's got another prophecy. Let's hear this out.
And listen to me, church. You can stand on this. When God brings you back from that hell you had to go through, you are coming back better. You are coming back with the keys. You are coming back with power. And you coming back with glory all over you. Watch this, so that whatever you put your hands on, it will prosper. I need you to go find 5 people, put your hands on them and tell them, I command you to prosper. I command you to come into the greatest season of your life so far. Some of y'all selfish. You won't even go touch nobody. I said touch 5 people. Ramsey, I'm talking to you, Ford. I'm talking to you, Williams. I'm talking to you, Yvette. I'm talking to you, Stacy. I'm talking to you, Iris. You got to come into the best season of your life. But because the will of God is not automatic, you're going to have to put some boots on the ground.
Yeah, so this is his way out of the promise. He's saying, hey, you're going to have the best year of your life, but there's an asterisk. You got to put some boots on the ground. And we're going to get into it, but essentially the boots on the ground is just social activism, right? I mean, this is kind of a little tinge of Black liberation theology mixed in here. I think I got some clips on that, but just in case I don't, he's going to get in that. See, I think he has, what is the HBCU hoodie on or jacket, right? But listen to this. I thought this was very interesting.
Be all right. Look at him again. Say, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Watch this. He comes on a donkey. Watch this. He comes on a workhorse, but connected to him is a show horse. I don't know who this is. Yes, I do. This for all of y'all. This for, tap your neighbor. Say, this for you. Listen. Tap them. Say, pay attention in church. This is for you. Tap them. Say, get off your phone. You about to miss your word. Jesus comes on a work horse and a show horse. Why? Because he's modeling for us how we're going to impact the culture. You can't just be a lowly servant. You got to be a baller and a shot caller.
No, 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 no.
I got bread in my pocket. Bread in my pocket. I got bread in my pocket. I got bread in my pocket. I got bread in my pocket.
So he said you can't be just a lowly servant. Sometimes you gotta step out, right? You gotta be a baller and shot caller. I didn't mix that in the. I must have missed that in the passage of scripture, where he gets the. You may be asking, where did he get the show horse from? Well, you know, when Jesus comes back, he's riding on a white horse. That's where he's saying. So he's situating these two steeds, right? You got the donkey. That's just a humble servant. But then he come back, he flexing on them, right? He got the Armani chains on, right? He got the Gucci belt, right? That's how he's kind of making Jesus into, right? And some kind of like, you know, he's come back flashy. And so, you know, you just can't be a humble servant. Sometimes you got to be a baller and a shot caller. I mean, this is scripture twisting to the max. I mean, that's not even the point of coming back on a white horse. I mean, it's judgment, all that. So it's just a mess. But these guys will find any way to twist the passage to be about something material, right? But let's keep going.
Watch this. And Jesus is saying you got to know how to flow in and out of both realms. You can't be so spiritual that you're not practical. You can't be calling prayer meetings, but then you won't run nobody for office. You got to call a prayer meeting, then run somebody for the state senator. You got to.
What I mean, I would actually argue the prayer office is more essential than let me just say this. The church has no obligation to get involved in politics, but they do have obligation to prayer. So that's why I say this is just the social justice message in the sense of just get involved in your community. Again, people have the liberty to do such thing, but there's no obligation. How is he getting that from this passage, you may ask? Again, I have my PhD in foolishness. Even I was confused.
Call a prayer meeting, then run somebody for the state house so they can change the laws locally. You got to be able to be a workhorse and a show horse. You got to be able to fall on this altar on your knees and walk away with your wig twisted. But then you got to be able to walk in the room with a gown on and y'all here. Look
again. You can tell who this message is for is to hype up the women in the church, right? So he knows his audience, right?
How dare you?
He knows his audience and who's it for.
Yes, queen, slay.
And so they go to capitalize on targeting women for most of these sermons. I mean, he does it. Jamal Bryant, John Hannon, all these guys target women. So women, be on guard that, you know, when you get this hyper sensualized message that is just for the woman boss, the girl boss kind of message. Avoid those messages.
Look at somebody and tell them you got to be both and. You got to know how to go in and out of both worlds. You can't be on your job speaking in tongues and embarrassing us. You got to be able to speak in tongues and speak in correct English.
Yeah, you can't be at your job saying this.
I should have bought a Hyundai, but I bought a Kia. I should have bought a Hyundai, but I bought a Kia. I should have bought a Hyundai, but I bought a Kia. I should have bought a Hyundai, but I bought a Kia.
Should have bought a Hyundai, but I bought a Kia. People are going to be like, what? Oh, that's interesting.
Do me a favor, tap your neighbor, tell them go home and work on your grammar. Go home, work on your grammar. You need to learn how to use a comma and a period. And if it's the first word in the sentence, it starts with a capital letter. I'm so sick of y'all texting me, I can't even understand it because it's just one run-on sentence.
They got that AT Hell education, right? Oh man, they just getting down in the middle of the service. That's crazy. All right, well, let's listen to this.
Let me say that again. Are you listening to me, Clarence? You got to have an undeniable, unshakable commitment to the cause. Somebody say boots on the ground, boots on the ground. Say it again real strong. It's going to make sense to you in just a moment. Say it again, boots on the ground. You got to have an unshakable, undeniable commitment to the cause that will probably initially present itself as a risk. So here it is. Bishop is asking for a seed.
So he's asking for a receive. But remember what he just said. It's going to present itself as a risk. Now, where did the Bible present giving as some kind of risk? But remember, after the risk becomes a reward. See, that's the problem with how they situate offering, that it's supposed to hurt you. But don't worry. God's going to bless you in return for giving to the church. No, the Bible doesn't say that. Matter of fact, the Bible says quite the opposite. 2 Corinthians chapter 8 says, hey, one of the principles Paul used in asking for them to give, hey, if it's going to burden you, don't give. You should not be burdened if it causes, you should not be burdened in your giving. But these people don't care. Look, he's situating it. Hey, it's going to appear like a risk. That's because it is. You're risking your livelihood by giving to them all the time.
Come on, half of y'all wasn't here. Come on, say it. A seed. Come on, write that down, Kanka. Write it down again. A seed. Tell your neighbor they missed it. They wasn't here. Look at them. Say a seed
and a soul.
A soul. Hold on. God told me to give you another S. And service. So here it is. It's going to present itself as a risk, but you got to get your boots on the ground. A seed. That's a risk. I had this money for something else. I was going to use this money to do something else. I need this money. I got this. I got that. You're going to always have something.
No. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
So notice, you need your money for something, right? You need it, right? You got bills coming up. You got, maybe, at the end of the day, it's your money, right? So you need to use your money a particular way. He said, you're going to always have needs. Notice the callous, manipulative way for you to give to the church. Again, I support giving. I think Christians should give. You should have a local church and you should be giving to your church. But it's not to a point when you're a burden and where they're kind of manipulating to where you to give like this. Again, Christians who've been redeemed, they want to support the church. You don't have to put their arm behind their back every sermon to get them to give. But these people don't trust in the Spirit of God that built the church to continue and preserve the church. That's why they ask every sermon. One, because they got things they're trying to do that that maybe the church shouldn't even be trying to do. They've been trying to become this mega church, mega million thing, right? And it's like, man, you don't got the funds for that. You're trying to overspend actually the budget you have. Again, what is our financial advice? Don't spend more than you make. That applies to the church too.
Come on, talk back to me now. You're gonna always have something. Them tires been bald for 3 months. Now all of a sudden you want to be responsible.
What?
You got to stop doing that. You got to stop doing that.
So here you are trying to get you some new tires because you got bald tires. And he's like, no, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't be responsible now. You need to give to the church. See, let me say this. William Murphy going to cause you guys to be in a fatal accident. You see the manipulation right there?
Gaslight. I'm thinking that's some type of arsonist.
This guy don't care about your life.
That refrigerator been broke.
What a mess. Well, he's going to give you something nasty. William Murphy always going to give you that. Let's see what he got to say now.
It's the part we don't like. Because some kind of way, the devil got it in your spirit that your testimony is only the good stuff. You don't never tell the bad stuff. You don't never say you was the one who cheated. And that's why y'all broke up. You just said was what they call it? No, you had naked pictures in your DM.
This sounds personal.
Nobody wants to tell that. But that's a part of your story. You got to be willing to tell people I was a mess. I was a hoe. And God.
No.
Look, I'm going to just say this. Sometimes your testimony, you can give us the PG version. We get it, right? You don't need it. Spare us the details. Because I don't want to be thinking about Sister Cheryl that way, right? Spare me the details. I don't need to know everything you did, right? Look, just say, hey, look, I was wilding out in those streets. We get what you're saying, Cheryl. We get what you're saying. Move it along, right? We get it. Give us the PG version of your testimony. I don't want the raw and uncut BET, right? Come on now. This is church still. again, I think there needs to be a lesson being done on how to be real without just reliving and giving explicit, vulgar language. Okay, I mean, that's what Ari Vernon likes to caveat on. I'm just being real and raw. Yeah, real nasty.
Touched the heart of my spouse, and they forgave me, and now we got a good marriage. You got to be willing to tell that story, because it's somebody else. They sitting right behind you. They got naked pictures in their DM right now. Ask them for their phone. See what they say.
What you say now, Chuck?
They like, go on, Bishop, you playing too much. Look at them. They like, see, this why I don't even come to church, because y'all play too much.
Reacting to their nastiness. You nasty.
See, but he don't care about them having no naked pictures in their phone. I mean, why would that be, as your pastor, as their pastor? I mean, why would you make light of this? Why wouldn't you be like, hey, bro, you need to get rid of that, and this needs to stop, right? But he makes a whole joke out of it. I mean, they might do. This is AT Hale for all we know. This is William Murphy's church. He don't actually care about them actually having naked pictures in his phone, in their phone, you know, and and no, if you got naked pictures in your phone, I don't want your phone. I mean, this is a mess. Speaking of a mess, check this clip out.
Watch it. He said, go into the village, do the work, go into the village ahead of you, and immediately you're going to find a donkey tied and a colt with her. Here's your job. Untie them. That's what this fast was about, y'all. Y'all didn't even realize it, but that water from midnight to 12 noon, that was you untying your donkey. Yo.
That's not what that means.
No.
Untying your donkey. It's the fact that I got to explain this is the frustrating part. Jesus literally sent them to go untie a literal donkey. The donkey wasn't figurative, but somehow, again, they're going to perspectivalize all of this and just turn it into something. Oh, you're untying your donkey. But watch where he goes with this, because it gets very interesting.
If I was on the corner, I would use the other name for the donkey. Y'all know the other name for the donkey, don't you? Look at somebody and say, untie your donkey. Y'all.
Now, think KJV when you're hearing donkey, you know exactly what he's talking about. So listen now with that in mind and listen to what he's going to say. Just replace the donkey with the KJV version of donkey and listen.
Look at him and tell him, you know what I really want to say. Because some of you had your donkey tied to people who were not tied to God. That's what the fast was about. God was trying to untie your black.
You got to stop
God was
doing
trying
that.
to untie your black donkey. Y'all, look at somebody and say, do the work, do the work. Watch it, but you just can't untie it.
Again, William Murphy is just a terrible preacher, man.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
I'm tired of the church.
We are tired of this church. Again, yes, you're not saying the word, but we know exactly what you're saying. I mean, why would you do that? Right? Why would you do that?
Just have it wandering around loose. He says, untie it and bring it to me. Do me a favor. Look at your neighbor and tell him, bring your donkey to Jesus. Oh my God. Y'all read between the lines. I wish I could say it, but I know y'all got your phone out. Bring your... I'm grieving. I really want to say it, but I ain't, because I don't trust y'all.
Imagine your pastor say he don't trust y'all. Sir, the feelings should be mutual. They shouldn't trust anything you be saying up there. Oh my goodness. All right, one more. Let's check this out.
Yes, Lord. It's not going to take as long as you thought. Whew. In less than a weekend. In less than a weekend. Whew. As a matter of fact, just go ahead. Just go ahead. You ain't lying, you're prophesying. Just go ahead and say it. By this time next week, you will already be in your resurrection season. By this time next week, you're going to have keys, you're going to have power, you're going to have influence. Favor of God will be on you.
Say, is that all? Is that all?
So the resurrection season, you know, the resurrection of Christ, which, you know, is a type to us being resurrected unto new life, apparently, really the main thing you're supposed to get to that is you're going to be resurrected into your resurrection season. You know, new house, new cars, new clothes, got new keys. I mean, this is silly. Imagine taking the resurrection of Christ and turning it into this. I mean, he's going to find money, materialism in every passage he goes to.
And everything you put your hands on is going to prosper. But you got to do the work. You got to do the work. This is not magic. The will of God is not automatic. It requires your cooperation. It requires your faith. You have to do the work. And these 40 days have prepared us spiritually. Your ear is open to the Spirit of God. You can hear God now like you've never heard him before. Don't second guess it. That's God talking to you. And when you hear God, obey. I hear to say this. I didn't say it. I said it in the first service, but I didn't say it here. And I just heard to say it again. Here's the problem. This is part of the reason you don't have what you need. Because you keep telling people you need it. The power of God was not released until they told him the Lord needs it. You didn't put the wrong name on it. I'm learning now. You know, you get in a different place. I'm learning stuff now, Ollie, that when you buy a house, you don't put it in your name. You know what you put it in? Trust. I just taught y'all something, y'all. Y'all owe me some money for that. I'm like, what you mean? Just Google it. When you buy something, you don't put it in your name. You put it in a trust. That's why you don't have it, because it's in your name. You telling people you need it. God said, I never told you to tell them what you needed. I told you to tell them if they question you, put, what is that, verse 3? I don't know what it is, Adner. Is it verse 3? Put it on the screen. He said, is that it? Oh no, they got something else up there. I want you to see it. He says, if anybody says anything to you, say this.
If you actually hear what he's trying to say, hey, just like you don't put the house in your name. Say the Lord needs it. Don't put the car in your name. Say the Lord needs it. Let me tell you right now, you're not going to get any of those things. But there's an actual bigger issue here is one, he doesn't even understand what this verse is actually referring to. It's referring back to Zechariah chapter 9, where Yahweh actually is riding as a warrior king on a donkey. And here Jesus is saying the Lord needs it. Why? To fulfill prophecy of Zechariah chapter 9, which the ultimate conclusion is that Jesus is Yahweh. It's just fascinating if you actually want to dig into the passage. And so it's not as it's saying the Lord needs him like he's needy, but rather it's to fulfill prophecy of Yahweh riding on a donkey. I mean, does he care about any of that? Of course he doesn't. He's just going to tell them what they want to hear. Materialism, materialism, materialism. Again, you got to avoid William Murphy like the plague, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Till the next time, grace and peace. Oh, grace and peace. Thank you for watching another episode of All Things Theology. If you enjoyed what you heard today, go on and give me a like. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. I promise to give you weekly lives, videos, interactions, exposing false teachers, sharing with you, the viewer, my theological beliefs, things about the culture and the Bible. So if you're here for that, come on and join us. Also, if you would like to support this channel financially, you can do so by becoming a Patreon member or a YouTube member. Links are in the description below. You can see content before it drops. You can also have Q&A sessions with also other Patreon members, YouTube members as well. So if you would like that, hit the description link in below.